And I wanted to do the series of recordings out in the snow with the dripping of the things melting, because I think this just fits in with that, because it feels like I'm shrouded in a blanket of snow and coming at this at a very new eyes, as this is a deeper dive for human design for me as well. But today I just wanted to cover the 6 lines in human design that's based on that previous video on how the foundation of it comes to the 6 lines of the hexagram. And this interface is transit and the geometry and astrology. So that's what this interface is. So that trigram can change orientation depending on your astrology. And in a later video, I'll start breaking this down, but I wanted to give this crude introduction so you have kind of a rough foundation to kind of know where to start digging in and not be as overwhelmed as I was when I started this. So the 6 lines, we're going to start with the first line. And this kind of also goes upper trigram, lower trigram. So 4, 5, and 6 is upper, 1, 2, and 3 is generally lower. So that's kind of the rough foundation of that. So the line 1 is an investigator. And the investigator type gets to the bottom of things. They deep dive and research, and then through introspection, they get to what works and what doesn't work. And then you have line 2, which is hermits. And they prefer to be by themselves to work, and then they can work their magic while in solitude. And this way, they don't have to really explain what they're doing to anyone, so they can just figure it out. They're much more introspective, and probably the least of all the lines wanting to get the external focus there as they're going through things. The next one's what I have a lot of experience with. Line 3 is the martyr. They're forward-thinking, versatile, and unpredictable in their approach. They test theories for validity, and they see failures as opportunities. And I'm really good at failing, let me tell you, but I don't see it as failure, even though some of the people in my life have. They are in the hunt for truth and solutions, and they use their lived experience to guide them when they're providing that. Line 4 is the opportunist. They look for external opportunities. They're the most external focused of all of them. They're natural leaders. They are very firm in their approach and even their management style, so that can be off-putting to some people. But they're also very welcoming, inclusive, and very networking focused. And if they're rejected in what they're bringing to the table, then they go inward, and then that introspection to get back to where they need to go. So if you're that line and that happens, that kind of explains it. Line 5, also part of my design profile, the heretic. They have a natural born gift of guiding people. They have a gift of looking at things objectively and providing solutions that one may have never even considered before. And for this group, they need that inward reflection time to really synthesize everything, to integrate the information, provide the solution. And one of the challenges for the heretic type is people pleasing. So they also have to transcend that in order to be able to get to their true gifts. And line 6 is the role model. And this one you can say is they go a little slower about things in the life cycle. They're visionary, and they become visionary through experience. And they and a set perspective based on these experiences. And so there's kind of a format for this. And so this is not going to be short, because this one takes a little more explaining too. The first 30 years, they experiment with life. So they're kind of playing the martyr heretic role, trial and error, getting all that intel from what works and what doesn't work. In the next 20 years, they become much more introspective. They're more observing and reflecting. And at about age 50 or a little after, all of that comes together, and then they become the harmonious leadership and mastery that wins the term role model. Once they learn, and in the process of that next 20 years, they have to master rest, self-care, and healing. From that, then they can see the possibilities in a better world and connecting commitment and trust together to create that vision for people. And then that's where they get the role model type. So I will be breaking down each of these line by line in the next series. So if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to add. And thank you for listening.